Wolf back. This very well could be the defining moment for Bitcoin, the chance for Bitcoin and the chance for the crypto market to finally decisively bottom out, right? And it sounds ridiculous because I'm the one who's been bearish the whole time, right? But I'm just looking objectively at the charts here. I know we've got FOMC in about 12 hours, right? Or 13, 14 hours. Now, I'm not saying the bottom is in, but I'm saying there's a chance, okay? And you might think, well, obviously there's a chance, but I'm going to back it up with evidence here today, right? We have a chance here, depending on what happens with FOMC, to confirm the bottom on Bitcoin. What would confirm the bottom on Bitcoin before we even get into any of that, right? At the moment, I want to make this very clear. At the moment, I'm still macro bearish. There is no reason for me to be macro bullish until we break and close a weekly candle above 23.8k. In doing so, we would close a weekly above a 200-week SMA and the nearest resistance zone, which is of course 23.8k as determined by the daily chart, right? 23.8k over here on the daily chart was a resistance zone before the bull market. It acted to kind of hold the whole bull market structure up, and now we're coming back and retesting it from the downside, right? So yeah, I'm macro bearish until that happens. Until the weekly candle close above 23.8k, I am macro bearish. I will not be buying Bitcoin. But I'm saying there is a chance that this event, this FOMC decision, in combined with the recent TA, is an indicator that there's a possibility we've got here, depending on the numbers that come out from FOMC. Obviously there is, but let's just analyze it quickly now, because FOMC, of course, is in 12 to 14 hours, and we need to get a good understanding of what's going on here. So why do I say this? Why do I say there's a chance here? You know, I'm macro bearish. I should be thinking it's going down 24/7. That's not really how the markets work, right? Of course, I can outline an opportunity here. Bitcoin rarely, in reality, probably most likely will go down, but it has an opportunity. Why? Well, all we need to do to understand why is identify that 20.7k, which is this red line here, this one that I've clicked on here. 20.7k is a strong support for Bitcoin. As you can see by the daily candles, a lot of wicks, a lot of closes just below and just above 20.7k. And we've actually just wicked down on the recent candles, formed a long wick to the downside, wicked down to it, touched it, and jumped all the way back up. If we go to the 4-hourly chart, we can see that outlined quite perfectly, right? We actually went all the way down to 20.7k and closed right on top of it before seeing a strong bounce to the upside. And yes, right now we're still struggling to get back within the descending wedge formation. However, the point is we have found support on Bitcoin. We have found support on Bitcoin, potentially giving us a higher low on Bitcoin, because the recent low was at 19k. We've found support on Bitcoin going into a very important macro decision. We've also, and as you guys would know, Ethereum is the asset that led the market on this way up. The Ethereum merge news kind of gave the market the pump, right? Ethereum pumped before Bitcoin, Bitcoin followed. We've also found support on Ethereum, right? At 14,000 USD, right? 14,000 USD is the support we held back here, and a resistance we held back here in early 2021 through to March 2021. Very, very important level at that point in time. Now zooming back here, we can see that it was a very important resistance. We broke above it, zoomed above it on a daily candle, and now we've come back down. We've closed just above it, and we've seen a long wick to the downside, retesting the top of that ascending wedge formation as a resistance support flip. So what we have now is Bitcoin on support and Ethereum on support going into a major macro decision, and so we have opportunity, right? Because 23.8k on Bitcoin, yes, again, don't jump the gun. I'm not bullish until we break 23.8k and close a weekly candle above it. But the fact of the matter is, 23.8k is not very far away, and us finding support here is an interesting progression to, you know, without doubt, really. So what needs to happen now, right? What needs to happen with the Federal Reserve meeting? Well, ideally, what happens with the Federal Reserve meeting, because I want the market to be bullish, of course, I'm going to say ideally, is this, right? So basically, what we've seen historically, I'm just going to outline on this chart here, it's easier. What we've seen is the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by 25 basis points. Each one of these circles equals 25 basis points, right? So that's 25 basis points, right? So the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by 25 basis points on the first hike earlier this year. The second hike, they raised by 50 basis points. So not only did they increase the rates again, but they increased the increment of which they increased the rates. And now the most recent one, which was last month, they raised interest rates by 75 basis points, right? So you can see again, not only are they increasing interest rates, but every time they increase interest rates, they're increasing interest rates more than they did last time. So it's an indicator, because remember, interest rates are used to fight inflation. So if the Federal Reserve is incrementally increasing interest rates, it means they're not happy with the level of inflation, and they basically need to attack inflation more. And obviously, if you attack inflation and you raise interest rates, companies are going to have less money to borrow. People are going to have less money to spend because they're spending more on mortgages and cars, etc. And so stock valuations and crypto valuations go down. So the higher the interest rates go, the more valuations of assets go down. So basically, it means that, hey, as of right now, the Federal Reserve isn't even close to thinking that inflation has topped out, because they're aggressively raising rates still, right? So now what we have is an interest rate decision tonight, and the Federal Reserve, if they choose, for example, to come back down to 50 basis points or even 25 basis points, which is very unlikely, but it might happen, they're basically telling us that, hey, the situation is a lot better now than it was last month, and we're displaying that to you guys through our actions, and we could see a massive pump in the markets off of support on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is the only scenario I see in which Bitcoin and Ethereum pump. However, if they do 75 basis points again, we'll just maintain the status quo and just continue the bear market. And God forbid, if they do 100 basis points, we will be seeing a large correction for sure, right? So I made it very clear in this video. Ethereum and Bitcoin are on support. It's very interesting. We're going into a major decision. It actually represents the fact that people are uncertain at this point, because if, for example, the bears had full strength and market participants had decided that the market needs to go down, the market would go down, right? But the fact of the matter is we've found support, so people aren't necessarily ready to sell yet or short yet, because there's optimism, right? They don't know what's going to happen with rates yet. There's optimism. So it's interesting. It's very interesting stuff. Now, again, very, very clear, very, very, I'm just clarifying, just so you guys know here. I don't want to get any comments around this question, right? I am macro bearish still. Again, weekly candle close above 23.8K. Until that point, until that happens, I think we're going to be seeing the bottom of Bitcoin in Q4, and I think we're going to lower lows. But it is a moment for opportunity here, moment of opportunity, and it will be a very interesting decision for sure. Again, 50 basis points or 25 basis point hike will lead to potentially a pump in the markets and relief for traditional markets. Anything other than that, and we're looking bad. Now, I personally think we'll see a 75 basis point hike, but again, I'm not an economist, so we'll wait and see. I'm not exactly sure that the Federal Reserve is ready to start lowering those incremental hikes. I don't think we're going to be seeing 50 basis points, but if we do, this is the perfect opportunity for a bounce here. So thanks for watching, guys. Before we end the video, I want to look at a few things. So the first of which being Wolves of Crypto V.I.P. I post 4 altcoin trading signals a week. So 4 videos exclusive to VIP members a week, in which I outline trading plans for altcoins, take profits, entries, stop losses, etc. on certain altcoins. 4 of those a week. We also do prioritize reply to comments. So if you comment as a VIP, I'm more likely to respond to your comment. 2-hour lecture on market psychology, and an exclusive Telegram group access where we discuss our ideas in the market. We have BitGet, and this is something I recommend to everyone, not just the VIP members. Half the fees are Binance, non-KYC. They just added in USDC trading on futures. So now we have USDC and USDT trading, and a referral program in which you can gain access to over 4,000 USD in rewards by completing various tasks. So if you sign up using my referral link, you get access to all of that stuff. And it will greatly, it's something you can do for free that helps out the channel as well. So that's great. It's a win-win for both of us, as they'd say. And then lastly, we have Become a Trader, a 10-unit course. Let me refresh the website so the logo comes up here. Become a Trader, a 10-unit course. Basically, it's a TA course developed by myself and Mega Crypto, teaching people how to trade, teaching people how to do technical analysis in 10 units over around 40 hours of work you'd have to put into the course. Very extensive. It's not for the lighthearted, but it's definitely going to teach you how to become a competent trader. And we're not talking, but what about the 1.5 hour video I saw on YouTube that teaches you for free? That's not actually going to teach you. This is a 40-hour course, 400 slides, 85 videos worth of information, 8 quizzes, and a trading diary. Right? This is more extensive than any of those fake, bullshit courses you're going to find on YouTube for free. And if you want to sign up, again, you don't have to. Chuck us an email here at cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll send you a pamphlet back and a video back with the information showing what it looks like, etc. So, interest rates, very interesting stuff. We're going to keep an eye on it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.